Hello. Hi. I'm all red-faced and sweaty because I've just been for my. I've been hiding from a run for about 4 days because it's been raining and it's been horrid and I don't like it. But it was sunny today, so I literally couldn't blag it anymore. And so I went for a run via Sevenoaks Hospital and dropped some stuff into the midwives, which is very nice. Anyway, it is 3:57 on Tuesday afternoon, and while I was on my run, so I've got this taster session that's coming up week on Thursday, so Thursday the 10th, and so I've been doing lots of planning for it, which means I've been thinking a lot about what it is that pregnant women might really want to know about hypnobirthing, and what specifically hypnobirthing is useful for if you are somebody who works, who has a career. And the best way to do that really is to just think back to what it was like for me when I was pregnant the first time. Oh God, I'm spotting loads of crazy hair action going on around here now. Never mind. Yeah, so I'm thinking back to what it was like when I was pregnant for the first time, which is a long time ago. 8 years. And I was thinking while I was running, and it was really interesting actually, because I probably haven't thought about it properly for a little while because I just keep having kids. And now that the baby's a bit older, the challenges of the children are slightly different. So still using a lot of those hypnobirthing techniques, like holding my temper when I've got 3 kids who are clamouring for something at any given moment. But I haven't probably really thought about exactly what took me to hypnobirthing in the first place. And while I was running, I was thinking about the contradictions of being somebody who is quite focused and ambitious and career driven, who then finds themselves pregnant, because a lot of the things that you have that get you to that stage in your career are quite driven, and it's a lot about not being very vulnerable, a lot about being capable and being on the ball and one step ahead and making your own luck and being full of energy and enthusiastic and really driven. And those are all brilliant characteristics, and I recognise them in a lot of my friends and a lot of the women that I see. But they are hard to balance. They're almost the polar opposite of a lot of the emotions and feelings you have when you're pregnant, or certainly that I had when I was pregnant. I felt really tired a lot of the time, and I was not the type of person that bailed out of things or said that they needed a break or that they needed special treatment. So that was very uncomfortable. And actually, I just ignored it a lot and just cracked on. And I think in retrospect, that might not have been the best thing for me to do, either emotionally or physically. And the other thing is about knowledge and information and making risk-benefit analyses and finding out new information. Because a lot of the information around pregnancy is focused on things not working properly and how you cope when things go wrong. And that's not a very positive message, and it slightly puts you on the back foot. The message generally is kind of, well, you just have to wait and see what happens, and you can't really control it, and blah. And that really felt very uncomfortable as well, because I hated the sense of not having any control over what was about to come. And I hated the sense that I was going to be at the mercy of somebody else's decisions. That really did not work for me at all. The idea of waiting to hear what a medic would say and what course of action they would recommend that I would then have to follow just did not resonate at all and made me feel very uncomfortable. And actually, I think that's the thing that I was most scared of. I think the pain, was something that I really worried about because, you know, I'd never had any teeth pulled, I'd never broken an arm or leg, I'd never been in hospital, so I was really worried about how I would manage that. But really the thing that I was most concerned about was being out of control and being at the mercy of other people's decisions. And that's where the hypnobirthing stuff I found to be very, very useful in all of the pregnancies, because I really got to grips with it in the first one, obviously, and then sort of did refresher courses for the second and third. So I was just having a little ponder on that, really, and thinking about how you can take that vulnerability and make it useful to you. And I don't think there's an easy way of doing it, actually, because the challenge is it's not just about how you feel about the situation, it's how everybody else around you feels. And it's about how pregnancy is perceived and how you are perceived as a pregnant woman. And I put on this post earlier on this week about, are you Luca Quinn from the Good Fight? Because that's what I do, is I watch things on iPlayer these days late in the evening. But she's having, I know it's a character, I know she's not real, but she's having exactly that fight at work. You know, that thing about, I don't want to be perceived as anything different than I am, but feeling the contradiction that pregnancy and mothering brings. And I think when it's positioned as something that's a weakness that you maybe need to hide away, that's not very healthy. But I am here to tell you that it is not a weakness. It is a strength, not just in those moments when you're pregnant, but as an augmentation to who you are as an individual. I mean, Christ, if you just think about what you're doing when you're pregnant, I mean, physically, it is no mean feat. You know, it is genuinely a physical exertion to make another person. And then there's all of the knowledge that you acquire in this incredibly contracted period of time. You learn all sorts of information. And then the emotional regulation, not only of pregnancy, but of having a newborn and being madly sleep deprived, and how you cope with that. These are all really positive characteristics and character traits and skills. So I'm kind of waffling, really. I am not entirely sure that I've got a major point. I'm not going to come to the end of this one saying this is what you should do, other than I think really it's, find sources that help you find your power, or that help you reframe your pregnancy and your mothering positively and as a powerful thing. And those inspirational places, like Birth Without Fear, like the positive birth movement, like This Girl Is Enough, all of those places that I reference madly frequently, and I will put in the comments after this, are really useful little reference points. So just carve out 5 minutes a day, have a quick look on Insta or Facebook, and see what other positive things people are saying about your situation, and take that. I hope you're all well, lovelies. I am going to go now because I've evidently been waffling on for nearly 10 minutes. Where does the time go when I start talking? Where does this stuff come from? And I've got to write a piece, and I've got to finish sharing some stuff about this Introduction to Hypnobirthing workshop on Thursday next week. Do not miss out, people. It's going to be lovely, and it's going to be good. So come along, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.